Hi, everyone. Good morning. This is Dan. Welcome to Engelgeist. For those of you that are new, welcome. For those of you that are returning, welcome back. For those of you that support me over on Patreon, thank you so very much for your subscriptions. I greatly appreciate them. This is the daily forecast for all signs. It is a shared collective reading available to anyone and everyone whenever you see it, ultimately. Like, if it fits, use it whenever you're seeing it. It's originally created for Friday the 29th of April, but it is not solely set for that date. I believe that our higher selves can find us the messages when they need them. So if this randomly pops up into your feed on some different date, maybe continue watching it. There might be something in here that might support or validate some thoughts or feelings that you're having around a situation or person. So keep that in mind. For those of you that are new, please check out the drop-down menu so that you can understand how I want the channel to best be utilized. Ultimately, I want the channel to support you in your decision making, not necessarily make the decisions for you. Beyond that, there's also ways to support the channel. Please hit the thumbs up button, subscribe if you like the content, hit the notification bell so you get notified when I go live or when new content goes up. I do put up a new video every day. You will hear me reference the underpinning energy, which is the Sunday video, which will be pinned in the lower corner of on the left-hand side at the end of this video. So if you want to refer back to that, it's just a look at what's like sort of underlying all of this throughout the week, so it adds a little bit of depth and, an undercurrent to the readings that we see that come out daily. Beyond that, I think that's kind of it. What else? I told you to like, share, comment, subscribe. Oh, share it out on your video feeds or your Instagrams or wherever, in your Facebook groups, where it's applicable, where people want it. Don't put it anywhere where it's not, acceptable. I belong to all of these different astrology groups, and then I forget which ones don't allow it and which ones do, and then I get these emails from the admins going we don't let this up here. But it's it's an astrology group. It's a tarot reading. I don't know. Anyways, so, and it's free content. Why not give it to your viewers? So, anything you can do to help me build the channel and grow the audience, I would greatly appreciate it. So let's see what the card is for today. We're getting ready to end out the month of April. We are ending out, we are in the sign of Taurus currently, but we're also ending out on a new moon on the 30th, which will be tomorrow night. New moons are always about creation, guys. So think about, what kind of ideas and things you want to create in your life. And in the sign of Taurus, Taurus is a very steadfast, hardworking, dependable sign. So the moon is also, not only are we in Taurus seasons, but it's also in Taurus. So that's kind of cool too. All right, let's see what the card is for today. Can I just tell you, I was up at 3 in the morning this morning. It's just now 5 my time. I've been up cleaning and doing weird shit. I have no idea why. All right, so we have the 8 of Wands. Don't mind me. We have the 8 of Wands, which I love this card. This is always a positive and beautiful card. Wands is associated with the element of spirit, right? It's also associated with that element of fire. So when we think of fire, we think of dynamism, impulse in a way. It can be a bit in a flash, quick. The energy is quick. The 8 of Wands is oftentimes, this is a different sort of depiction of the 8 of Wands. 8 of Wands is usually 8 wands diagonally, sort of pointing downward. Wands represents, I believe, spring, because it always has the buds on the wands. But regardless, this is generally a card of movement, right? 8s to me are about balance, things falling back into balance, right? And then we have the idea of the 8 of Wands being about fast movement. And with this particular design, it's like this explosion, right? This, all these wands are coming together and there's a big bright light behind them. And I think about it in that way only because, or as I'm looking at that, where my mind goes is to the Sunday reading, which is the underpinning energy for the end of the week, which would be these last 2 days, would be that 3 of Pentacles, right? And 3 of Pentacles is very much about successful successful collaboration through, getting with other people, listening to their ideas, sharing your skill set, their skill set, and moving forward in a way that's productive, that is accommodating, that is mutually respectful, but it brings like the entire group, or whoever's all involved, forward in a positive manner. Now, the reason why I say that is because the Eight of Wands is also about positive forward movement as a rule. Oftentimes it can be depicted as, because it's Wands energy, Wands is oftentimes a desire, right? The spirit and the desire of the spirit and that burn of fire in a way. Not necessarily a sexual desire, but that burn of, oh, this is what I want, this is how I want it kind of thing. And then with that, it can be a romantic movement forward too. Oftentimes it's depicted as like a romantic movement forward, or travel towards romance. It can indicate travel too. But with this particular card, and knowing that my Three of Pentacles lays underneath this, guys, it feels like today is a rather dynamic day to collaborate, right? Because all of these Eight Wands in this particular design of the card are coming together, and bam! That we've got that big, beautiful, bright glow happening around them, right? It's almost like, to me, not to sound too corny or too, I don't know, hippie, I shouldn't label it, but to me it almost feels divine in a way, right? That white light that surrounds these Eight Wands, as they all put their heads together, as they all bring their ideas to the table, as they all collaborate, and they bring maybe their own spiritual desires, ideas, dreams, inspirations together, we get that hit of inspiration and forward movement. And it's also, with the Three of Pentacles underneath it, it's successful, it's grounded, it's able to be actually used practically and made into something that everybody involved can benefit from. Does that make sense? So it feels very positive to me, this card. It feels very collaborative. The Eight of Wands is not necessarily a collaborative card, other than when it's utilized in the form of being, like, say, a romance card, where it's somebody approaching another and expressing their love towards them. But when I look at this particular card with this particular design, the way that these Eight Wands are kind of meeting in the center around maybe, say, an idea, a thought, a project, and each one of you might be meeting with, there's maybe not 8 of you, but it could be 3 of you, it could be 2 of you, it could be 16 of you, I don't know. But if you're coming together with people that you respect, admire, maybe you don't even respect and admire them, but you need to be willing to listen to them, and they need to be willing to listen to you. Everybody brings their best foot forward, their most heartfelt desire, or their sort of best thinking to the table, and they open up the door for not only the success of the Three of Pentacles, which is nice and grounded and brings success within the material world, but it's almost like we're harnessing this energy from the spirit, right, the Eight of Wands, and manifesting it down into successful collaboration via the Three of Pentacles. Does that make sense? So be open to that. Pay attention to the signals around you. Pay attention to the people around you. Pay attention to what they're saying to you. Pay attention to what you're saying to them, right? Even if you're like doling out advice maybe or something to somebody, you don't necessarily know that it's not going to be the exact thing that that person needs to hear to find their way out of whatever it is that they might be in, and into a space of far more clarity, far more inspiration, and be able to move forward in whatever it is that they're doing, right? And somebody might be able to do that for you too. So keep that open mind and that open heart and that inspired kind of energized feeling that the Eight of Wands would represent from that fire, and let that be your guide today to seek out that sort of idea of successful collaboration, right? And being successful in whatever it is that we desire, whatever it is that we want. We're going to need help though, with the Three of Pentacles and the Eight of Wands. To me, it feels like there's a meeting of the minds happening today, or a meeting of the hearts, or however you want to look at it, that needs to take place today so that we can all get what we want. Now, let's look at the Sacred Forest Oracle and see what they've got to say. This, I believe we've seen her once. This is Wild Rose Fairy, and it's love. It's card number 47, which 47, 3 is 10. It's an 11, which is a master number, which I like that, right? And the Wild Rose Fairy, the idea and word of love makes me think about sort of this pink color and the collaboration that's happening not only here in the Eight of Wands, but also in that Three of Pentacles, valuing our own opinion as much as we value the opinions and thoughts, ideas of others, and doing so from a space of love could produce some really cool energy on this day, right? Pay attention to, like I said, what's being said to you and what you're saying to others. Are you bringing your best thoughts to the table? Are you bringing your best inspiration to the table? Are you bringing your best compassion? Is it based in love, right? Because that number 11 means that there's some mastery going on here. There's some ideas that are being exchanged potentially between you and others that could be quite compelling and quite awesome, you know. And the other thing too, I will say about love or Wild Rose Fairy showing up here, Eight of Wands is oftentimes in traditional tarot depicted as a confession or a realization of love, right? So that also has very much a connection to love, desire, and the spirit. So I want to say seek out those that we respect, admire, exchange ideas with them, and do it from a space of love and inspiration, and see what comes out of today, right? Because it could be quite powerful. It could be manifested into something quite successful, maybe further down the road, but still, today may be the day that the beginning steps or the beginning ideas or possibilities become voiced. Does that make sense? Because Pentacles energy tends to be a bit slower, so we have to be patient with that. Now, let's read Wild Rose Fairy. Love. The scent of the wild rose is heady. The perfumed fragrance swirls around and flows directly into your heart. With each inhalation, your heart opens even wider and deeper. The soft pink colors of the petals contrast with the dark, shiny leaves. Fluttering among the blossoms is a kaleidoscope of butterflies. Magic is in the air. Love is all around you. Open your heart to receive. All of life's experiences are a splendid part of a spiritual evolution toward the realization that we are all love. In matters of romance, there is healing right now. You are a sacred vessel for love to flow through you, to others, and to the universe. Healing has occurred. Healing is occurring. Healing will occur. Your angels, guides, spiritual guardians, and allies adore and cherish you. If only you could see yourself the way those in spirit see you, you would know how profoundly and deeply loved, cherished, and adored you are. Be open to allowing the Creator to solve your challenges in wondrous ways. Trust that everything is unfolding graciously and perfectly in your life. The opposite of fear is love. Allow fear to dissolve as love expands. And I love the expansion of the white light behind these 8 wands, right? The spirit of the wild rose says, you are more cherished than you could possibly know. Open your heart to receive. Love is on its way. You are an eternal vessel for love to flow through. You are enough just as you are. Love it. Let's go to the grounding stone and see what the grounding stone has to say. And remember, the grounding stone for the week is that idea of forgive. So when we're in a state of forgiveness, it's that much easier to find love for ourselves and others. So remember that too. If there's anybody or anything, any situation that we need to find forgiveness for, today's the day to do it. Here is the grounding stone. This is something that you want to ground in, a principle today that will keep you sort of steady in this vibration of love, in this vibration of creation and forward movement of the 8 of Wands and the 3 of Pentacles that lies underneath this. And it is that of gratitude. An attitude of gratitude. Obviously, that's going to link you into that idea of forgiveness. It's going to link you into that idea of love. It's going to link you into the idea of being grateful for those that are around you, that are there and available to help you, or for you to be able to help others through your ideas, thoughts, advice, and then vice versa them too. So ground in that today, guys. This should be a really powerful day to explore creation, especially with that new moon coming tomorrow. That is your forecast. Please give me a thumbs up, subscribe, share it out, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a wonderful day and let it be centered in love, okay? Take care. Bye-bye.